For people who have never actually climbed before, it's hard for them to imagine what it's like to be, on the side of a cliff or on the side of a boulder. And it's one of those things that's very empowering, and it's also incredibly just serene when you get used to it. Initially, you're kind of dealing with the heights and the fear, and not that the fear ever goes away completely, but you learn to control it and compartmentalize it. But the feeling of being up high on a cliff is just otherworldly. It's beautiful, it's quiet. You're seeing things that just a really small percentage of people get to see, and so you feel very lucky and just fortunate to be in such a unique setting. For me, the road kind of as a climber has changed pretty drastically. When I started climbing, I was all about, trying to climb as hard as I could, as much as I could. And that lasted probably 10 years or so. And then, you're climbing and you start to kind of mature in the sport. But then in 2002, I was accidentally dropped. I dropped to 100 feet, got hurt really badly. And that kind of made me reevaluate what I was, not only as a human, but just as a climber too. And so, what was that going to look like going forward? For me, coming back to climbing made sense, and I wanted to do that for myself, But then once I kind of got back into it and was feeling solid again, it seemed a bit hollow to just be pursuing it for myself. And so a good friend of mine in Boulder had started a nonprofit, and he called me up one day after I came home from Yosemite, and he said, "I'm going to take some veterans climbing. They're missing their limbs. Why don't you come down and help us kind of teach them how to climb?" I came away with this new kind of lens, I guess, to look at climbing through, which I didn't really even know existed. And it opened up this door of like, hey, I can take what I've learned, not just with climbing, but just with the disability that I have now, and educate them. And then just kind of give them permission to come out to these places and experience it the way I do. Those guys were just like me, they needed someone to say, hey, just because this happened to you doesn't mean you can stop. You don't have to stop. If you want to do these things, here's how you do it. This is what I do. Part of this will work for you, part of it won't. We'll just kind of tweak it together, and we'll kind of figure out what will make you successful. And that has just opened up this entire world to me of just like experiencing it through their eyes, and it makes you excited then, because you're just like, oh yeah, this is incredible stuff, and powerful stuff. So I get as much out of them climbing as they do, I think, and if not more some days. And so it's just been this really fun process to be a part of.
I try to get you out of your comfort zone, out of the apartment or wherever you live, because that's a safe place to be a lot. And this isn't the first time they've had to try to drag me out here, so I never thought I would do something like this. If the person who told me about this told me it was going to be this, I probably wouldn't have came. But I'm glad I did it. That's pretty awesome. You don't realize how far you've gone until you look down. Yeah, sense of accomplishment is huge.
If I was giving just one thing that people take away from me, and I say this all the time, is anything that you're in right now is a fluid situation, and it is not the rest of your life. It's super easy to feel like this is it. This is how I'm going to feel the rest of my life every day, and that's just not true. Today is today, tomorrow is tomorrow. If you can just embrace that idea that this is going to be changing and the landscape is not going to be the same, and embrace that, you can actually move forward and be very successful in whatever your circumstances are.